The galaxy was quiet, but not peaceful. Stars burned in silence. Distant worlds spun slowly in the void, and alien civilizations thrived, building empires and fleets. Yet even among the strongest races, a story persisted. A story that no one could fully confirm. A story about humans. For centuries, humans had been called myths. Whispers in old texts. Tales told to young aliens as bedtime stories. Humans were clever, the scholars said. They could survive storms, fight monsters, and travel across stars in ships beyond imagination. But they vanished long ago. Many dismissed the legends. The Vorans, a proud and strategic alien race, believed humans were long gone. Their fleets controlled sectors of the galaxy with iron discipline. Still, the stories gnawed at some officers, like sparks in dark corners of their minds. Captain Voran Kelt of the fleet Shadow Talon had heard the stories since childhood. Now, as he studied a mysterious energy reading from the edge of his sector, he felt a chill he could not explain. "Commander Lyra," Kelt said, his voice steady. "What do we have here?" Lyra's antennas twitched nervously. "It's massive, sir. Energy spikes moving too fast for normal ships. They appear and disappear, almost like they jump through space." Kelt frowned. "Jump? Impossible. Only legends speak of such power." The monitor flickered. Images appeared, fragments of strange ships, enormous and sleek, with markings that none of the Vorans had ever seen. "Could these be humans?" Lyra whispered. She barely dared to say the word. Kelt's eyes narrowed. "Humans are extinct. This is likely another enemy fleet testing us. Prepare scouts. I want to know what we face before the Council learns of this." Meanwhile, deep in a hidden sector of the galaxy, humans were awake and alert. Their homeworlds were far beyond the territories of the Vorans and other great empires. For centuries, humans had hidden, building colonies, ships, and knowledge in secret. They had survived not through aggression, but through caution and intelligence. Now, it was time to step into the light. Admiral Mara Hastings stood on the bridge of the human battleship Intrepid Dawn. Her eyes scanned star maps, data streams, and fleet positions. Around her, humans moved with calm precision, each officer focused on their role. "We have waited long enough," Mara said. Her voice was calm but firm. "The galaxy has grown reckless. Others believe humans are gone. It is time to remind them that we are real, and that we will not stand by while innocent worlds suffer." Lieutenant Jaren, a young pilot, looked at her nervously. "Admiral, the Vorans are the largest force nearby. Are we ready to face them?" Mara smiled faintly. "We do not fight for glory. We fight for survival and for justice. Remember, Jaren, strategy is our greatest weapon. Courage comes next. Let the legends speak for themselves." Jaren nodded. He had grown up hearing stories of the old humans, how their ancestors had tamed stars, outwitted alien races, and defended the weak. Now, he was part of the living legend. Back on the Voran side, scouts launched in stealth, moving toward the strange energy readings. As they approached, the crew felt tension. The void seemed different near these anomalies, almost alive, vibrating with power. "Captain," the scout commander called, "we have visual. Multiple large ships, approaching fast. They're unlike anything we know." Kelt leaned forward. His mandibles tightened. "Show me." On the monitors, the Vorans saw enormous ships, sleek and angular, moving with uncanny speed. Their weapons glowed with a pale blue energy, silent but deadly. Their hulls shimmered as if absorbing the surrounding light. "They are human," whispered Lyra. I recognize the markings from old legends. But it cannot be. Humans are gone." Kelt's claws tightened on the console. He had never believed in myths, but he could not deny the evidence before him. "Prepare the fleet. We need reconnaissance, but stay ready for combat. If humans are back, we cannot underestimate them." Meanwhile, on the human side, Mara's fleet approached a contested sector. Their ships moved with careful precision, avoiding detection while scanning for colonies at risk. "Sector clear for jump," Mara said. "Proceed on my mark." The human ships vanished from local sensors. In seconds, they reappeared near a Voran outpost, fully visible now. The alien defenses scrambled, activating shields and weapon arrays, but they were unprepared for what arrived. "Identify that fleet," a Voran officer screamed. "They're massive, and their weapons, nothing we have matches them." The humans, with calm efficiency, launched an initial strike, not to destroy, but to disable. Energy nets wrapped around Voran ships, engines short-circuited, and weapons were neutralized. The aliens realized, too late, that these were not ordinary attackers. Jaren piloted his fighter squadron with skill. He danced through laser fire, taking positions that no one would expect. The humans' tactics were unorthodox, yet devastating. Every move was calculated, every strike precise. Kelt watched, disbelief growing. "They are tactical geniuses. This cannot be happening. Humans are supposed to be extinct," Lyra spoke quietly. "Legends may have been true, sir." The humans made their presence known in one decisive action, a single transmission broadcast across the sector. "We are humans. We do not seek conquest. We fight to protect those who cannot defend themselves. Leave your weapons or face the consequences." The message sent shockwaves through the Voran armada. Officers whispered in fear and awe. Scholars had argued about humans for centuries. Now, humans were no longer myths. They were reality. On the human side, Mara watched the fleet's performance. "Excellent work," she said. "We have made our presence known. But our goal is not war. Remember that. We protect. We defend. Legends inspire fear, but humans inspire hope." Jaren's heart pounded. "Admiral, they will come for us." Jaren's heart pounded. Mara nodded. "Perhaps. But we will not flee. The galaxy needs to see that strength is not just power. It is intelligence, courage, and heart. Let them see what humans truly are." Back on the Voran flagship, Kelt called an emergency council. "Admirals and captains," he said, his voice grave. "The humans are back. This is not a myth. We face a species capable of outmaneuvering our fleets, disabling our weapons, and challenging our dominance. We must plan carefully. One wrong move could cost the entire armada." In distant corners of the galaxy, other races received reports. Scientists, generals, and diplomats whispered the same phrase. "Humans are back." On the hidden human colonies, celebrations were quiet but determined. The younger generations, born after the disappearance of humans, now saw that the stories were true. Their ancestors had survived, their species had endured. And now, they were stepping forward to protect the galaxy once more. Mara Hastings looked at the stars. She knew the coming days would be dangerous. The Vorans would not take this lightly. Other civilizations would watch, test, and maybe attack. But she also knew this. Humanity had survived worse. Humanity had always risen to challenges. And now, humanity was no longer a legend. The first human battleship appeared above the Voran stronghold, massive and imposing. The aliens stared in awe and fear. Energy weapons hummed. Shields activated. Every eye in the armada focused on a single truth. The stories were real. Humans were back, and the galaxy would never be the same. The galaxy held its breath. The humans had made themselves known, and the Voran armada, once confident in their strength, now faced a force they had only believed to exist in stories. Across the sector, commanders scrambled to respond. Alarm signals lit up ships, and shields hummed with tense energy. Admiral Mara Hastings watched from the bridge of the intrepid Dawn, her calm eyes scanning multiple screens. She had expected this reaction. The Vorans were proud, strategic, and disciplined. They would not be easily intimidated. But humans were ready. "Prepare the fleet," Mara ordered. "We do not attack without purpose. We move to protect. But we will not hesitate if they threaten others." Lieutenant Jaren leaned forward. "Admiral, their fleet is massive. Are we truly ready to face this?" Mara smiled faintly. "We have something they do not, our minds and unity. Let them see that strength is not measured only by size." In the distance, the Voran armada activated their defensive formations. Massive ships, bristling with weapons, turned toward the human fleet. Energy shields flared, and communications channels buzzed with commands. Kelt, commanding from the flagship Shadow Talon, felt a mixture of pride and unease. "They are fast, precise, and unexpected," he said to his officers. "These humans, they fight differently. They anticipate our moves. Stay sharp, do not underestimate them." The first encounter was cautious. Human ships moved with precision, avoiding unnecessary conflict while scanning the region for civilian colonies. Voran scouts attempted to engage, but every maneuver the humans made countered their expectations. Jaren led a small squadron, weaving through the enemy formation with daring speed. Using decoys, he tricked the Voran ships into overextending their positions. Energy pulses fired by the humans disabled weapons without harming crews. It was not destruction they sought, it was control and deterrence. One Voran officer, watching from a distant ship, whispered to his colleague, "They are brilliant. Every move is calculated. We cannot fight them as we do others." Mara's voice came over the comms. "Focus on defense, Jaren. Protect the colonies. Make them see that we do not come as conquerors." The humans had a plan. Instead of overwhelming the Vorans with sheer firepower, they used strategy, agility, and intelligence. They set traps, anticipated enemy maneuvers, and turned the Armada's power against itself. In one daring move, a human fleet appeared to retreat, drawing the Vorans into a narrow asteroid field. As the alien ships pursued, humans used gravity-based energy pulses to temporarily disable engines. The Vorans' formation faltered, and their weapons misfired. Mara's fleet moved with grace, striking where necessary, always precise, always controlled. Kelt's claws clenched as he observed the humans' tactics. They are not just strong, they are smart, adaptive. Legends spoke the truth. We are facing humans. Meanwhile, in human space, engineers worked tirelessly to maintain the fleet. Every ship, from massive battleships to small fighters, moved as one unit. Communication was instantaneous, and every officer understood the greater goal. Lieutenant Kara, an engineer aboard the Intrepid Dawn, glanced at her console. "Admiral, we are ready for another jump. The Vorans are regrouping near Sector 7. "Good," Mara said. "We will follow. Keep the civilians safe. Prepare for anything. But remember, our purpose is protection first." The humans performed a rapid jump across the sector, arriving near a neutral colony under threat from a smaller Voran detachment. The alien ships had planned to seize resources and enslave workers, assuming no one could stop them. But humans arrived before any harm could be done. Energy nets immobilized the detachment's ships. Shields absorbed the attackers' weapons. Within moments, the Vorans realized they had underestimated the humans once again. Jaren and his squadron landed near the planet's surface, guiding evacuation ships and ensuring civilians were unharmed. Children watched in awe as humans, the legends come to life, moved with courage and discipline. "Why are they helping us?" a young alien boy asked his father. "They are humans," his father whispered. "The stories, they are real. They protect, not destroy." Back in space, Kelt made a critical decision. "Assemble the main fleet. They are stronger than we anticipated, but we cannot let them take this sector. Prepare for full engagement." The Vorans moved cautiously. They had faced many threats before, but humans were different. Their strategies were unpredictable, their ships adaptive, and their pilots daring. Every encounter left the alien officers both fearful and fascinated. Mara observed the approaching fleet. "We do not seek a war," she said quietly. "But we will fight to protect the innocent. Let them see the truth. Humans are not conquerors. They are guardians." The first major clash began near the outer orbit of a mineral-rich planet. Human ships, using speed and intelligence, darted between enemy formations. Energy shields deflected attacks, and advanced sensors predicted enemy moves. Voran ships fired relentlessly. But humans anticipated every strike. Jaren's squadron executed a daring maneuver. They split into two groups, drawing the enemy apart. Then, with a coordinated strike, they disabled the weapons of the largest Voran battleship without harming the crew. The alien officers stared in disbelief. "Impossible," Kelt muttered. "No fleet can perform maneuvers like this." Humans, however, continued with calculated precision. They prioritized disabling weapons, protecting colonies, and avoiding unnecessary destruction. Their actions sent a powerful message across the galaxy. Humans had returned not as conquerors, but as a force of protection. As the battle unfolded, rumors spread to other alien civilizations. Traders, diplomats, and explorers began to speak of the humans' return. The legends were no longer myths. They were reality. Entire fleets paused, reconsidering their strategies. The balance of power in the galaxy began to shift. On the intrepid dawn, Mara watched the engagement unfold. She felt a deep pride in her fleet. Humans had returned not only to survive, but to show the galaxy the strength of courage, intelligence, and unity. "Prepare for the final phase," she ordered. "We will not destroy them, but we must demonstrate our ability to protect. Let them see what humans can do when their morals and minds guide them." Jaren nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. He remembered the stories of old humans who had outsmarted entire fleets. Now, he was part of that legacy. His squadron moved with precision, striking enemy ships strategically, ensuring civilians remained unharmed, and protecting weaker vessels. The Voran fleet began to falter. Their commanders realized that brute force was useless against humans. Every strategy they tried was anticipated, every weakness exploited. Yet humans never acted recklessly. They fought with intelligence, courage, and restraint. "Admiral," Jaren said, breathless. "They're starting to retreat." Mara nodded. "Good. We do not pursue for vengeance. Let them understand the lesson. Strength with wisdom is more powerful than strength alone." As the Voran ships withdrew, the humans' reputation grew. Across the galaxy, whispers spread. Humans are back. They protect, they fight with honor, and they are unlike any other species. In secret council chambers, alien leaders debated. Some argued for alliances with humans. Others feared them, worried about their advanced tactics and mysterious technology. One thing was certain. The galaxy would never forget the day humans returned. Jaren gazed at the stars from his cockpit. The battle had been won, but the war for respect and understanding had just begun. He remembered Admiral Mara's words. "Let them see the truth. Humans are not conquerors, they are guardians." On hidden human colonies, celebrations were quiet but meaningful. The younger generation, long raised on stories, now knew the reality. Humanity had survived, adapted, and emerged stronger, and they had taken the first step toward changing the galaxy. Mara Hastings addressed her fleet one final time. "This is only the beginning. Others will come, curious or hostile. We must be ready, but never forget. Our strength lies not in the size of our fleet, but in our courage, intelligence, and unity. Let the galaxy see the humans not as legends, but as protectors." The message echoed across the sector, transmitted to every observer who could receive it. A new era had begun. Humans were back, not as a myth, but as a living force. And the galaxy would have to adapt. The Vorans, once confident in their dominance, would remember this day forever. They had faced humans and survived to tell the story, but the lesson was clear. Humans were clever, brave, and united. The legends had been true. and the galaxy would never be the same again. The galaxy watched as tension rose in the sector where humans and the Voran armada had clashed before. The Vorans were shaken but not defeated. Pride and honor burned in their hearts. They would not forget the humiliation of their previous encounters. Admiral Kelt paced on the bridge of the Shadow Talon. "They are clever, yes," he said, claws tapping on the console. "But cleverness alone cannot defeat our fleet. Prepare the flagship for full engagement. This ends now one way or another." Across the sector, humans prepared as well. Admiral Mara Hastings stood on the bridge of the Intrepid Dawn, calm and resolute. "They will test us," she said, "and we will show them what it means to face humanity. Remember, we fight not for power, but to protect and defend. Our courage and intelligence will be our strength." Jaren tightened his harness in the cockpit of his fighter. "Admiral, are we ready for the flagship?" "It's enormous." "We are ready," Mara replied. "Use your minds, pilots. Strategy first. Courage second. Every move must be precise. Today, the galaxy sees humans not as myths, but as legends in action." The battlefield was immense. Stars glittered beyond the ships, and the vacuum of space stretched endlessly. Human ships positioned themselves around the Voran flagship, the Iron Dominion, while smaller alien vessels formed layers of protection around it. The first move came from the humans, not an attack, but a display of coordination. Fighters swarmed in patterns designed to confuse the alien sensors. Energy pulses were fired in calculated bursts, disabling outer defenses without harming crews. The humans were careful. They did not seek destruction, only control. Kelt watched, disbelief growing. How can they predict our every move?" he muttered. His officers scrambled to respond, but every tactic they tried seemed anticipated and countered. Mara's voice rang across the fleet. "Hold positions. Focus on disabling weapons first. Protect civilians and neutral worlds. The rest will follow." The first clash was brutal but controlled. Human ships moved with agility, dodging massive volleys of alien fire. Energy shields absorbed strikes while human pilots maneuvered through gaps no alien commander would expect. Jaren's squadron performed a daring maneuver. They split into two groups, drawing the enemy fleet apart. Then, with a synchronized strike, they disabled the weapon systems of the largest battleship. Alien officers stared in disbelief. Humans were not only clever, they were fearless. "Impossible," Kelt growled. "No fleet can do this." Yet humans did it calmly. Every strike, every movement was precise. There was no chaos in their actions, only control and strategy. Their fleet moved as one, minds coordinated, hearts determined. The battle escalated. The Iron Dominion unleashed its full power, energy beams slicing through space toward human ships. But humans adapted instantly. Shields shifted, fighters performed evasive maneuvers, and electronic countermeasures turned alien weapons against themselves. In the midst of the chaos, Mara watched carefully. "We protect first, attack second. Remember that. Let them see what humans truly are." Human ingenuity shone in every moment. Pilots used decoy drones to confuse the enemy, creating openings for precise strikes. Battleships altered energy outputs mid-combat to maximize defense while minimizing collateral damage. The Vorans were powerful, but humans were unpredictable and intelligent. Kelt realized something critical. Humans did not fight like any other species. They combined intelligence, courage, and morality. Every strike had purpose. Every maneuver had meaning. The Voran fleet was skilled, yes, but humans were extraordinary. On the battlefield, smaller Voran vessels began to retreat as humans disabled their weapons and engines without harming crews. Civilians watched in awe from distant colonies as the legendary humans outmaneuvered the dominant fleet of the galaxy. Jaren's squadron approached the Iron Dominion's flank. "Admiral, we can target their main energy core," he said. Mara shook her head. "No. We do not destroy. Disable, control, and protect. Let them understand strength tempered by intelligence and morality." Legends are earned by wisdom, not by destruction. Instead, humans focused on the flagship's weapon systems, systematically shutting down each array. The alien crew scrambled, but humans had predicted every reaction. Slowly, the massive ship lost power in sections, its energy systems failing one by one. Kelt's claws clenched. They are controlling us without killing us. How is this possible? The battle continued for hours. Human ships danced through space with grace and precision, turning what could have been chaos into orchestrated strategy. Voran commanders realized they were facing not only strength, but brilliance, a combination no one had expected. Finally, the Iron Dominion was immobilized, its weapons offline. The remaining Voran ships halted, unsure whether to retreat or surrender. Mara's fleet maintained formation, showing readiness to defend, not to destroy. Mara sent a message to the entire sector. We are humans. We fight to protect, not to conquer. Today, you have seen our strength, our courage, and our intelligence. Let this battle remind the galaxy. Humanity is not extinct. Humanity is here, to defend and to inspire. The choice is yours. Join us in protection, or witness our resolve. The message spread quickly. Across the galaxy, aliens whispered in awe. Scholars who had debated human existence now realized the legends were true. Humans were not only real, they were extraordinary. In council chambers on Voran worlds, leaders debated. They fight with intelligence, one commander said. Not recklessly. They respect life while defending it. This is unlike anything we faced, another officer added. They are smaller in number, but their strategy, their coordination, it surpasses our fleets. We must reconsider our approach to this species. Mara watched the sector, her fleet calm but alert. We have won the first step, she said, but the galaxy is large. Others will watch. Some will challenge us. Some may need protection. We must be ready. Jaren landed on a nearby station to oversee repairs and ensure civilians were safe. Children approached him, eyes wide. Are you really human? One asked. Jaren smiled. Yes, and we are here to protect everyone, not just humans. On the intrepid dawn, Mara reflected on the battle. Humans had faced a dominant fleet and emerged not as conquerors, but as protectors. The galaxy had witnessed the truth. Humanity's strength lay not only in technology, but in courage, intelligence, and morality. Legends become reality through action, Mara said quietly. We have proven the stories were true. Now the galaxy must see what humans can do, not for conquest, but for justice and protection. The Voran fleet withdrew to regroup. They had faced humans and survived, but the lesson was clear. Humans were clever, united, and formidable. No one could underestimate them again. As humans continued their mission to protect colonies and innocent lives, other civilizations took notice. Some reached out in diplomacy, curious to understand this legendary race. Others strengthened defenses, wary of underestimating humanity. Jaren looked at the stars, feeling the weight of history. Admiral, do you think the galaxy will ever forget this day? Mara smiled. No, Jaren. Today, humanity returned not as myths, not as stories, but as living legends. The galaxy will remember. And one day, perhaps, they will learn that courage, intelligence, and morality can change the course of history. Humanity had proven itself. They had survived, adapted, and risen stronger than ever. The legend of humans was no longer a tale from the past. It was reality. Across the stars, the galaxy knew. Humans had returned, and they were extraordinary. The battle had ended, but the story of humanity's return was only beginning. Other civilizations would test them. Challenges would come, but one thing was certain. The galaxy had witnessed what humans could do when they acted with intelligence, courage, and heart. And the legend of humans as protectors, as strategists, as heroes was now alive, shining brighter than any star.